Hello, everyone. Testing, testing. We're getting started just a little early. Uh, I have my wonderful guest here, Mr. Larry, giving me a few. Hey, Larry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, let me be sure. Okay, let me see, because I'm still learning this thing. I'm just saying. All right, so I'm gonna take that down. And just kind of throw that one on so it won't be so loud. Um, okay, so let me give my little intro. Welcome everybody to Game of Dragons, and this is for Urban Debates. And here we discuss topics you don't hear other places. And tonight is a very special night because I have my long-term friend and debate advocate, Mr. Larry Legend speaks. And I am so thrilled that he's here tonight. I'm really thrilled because this is one of those things we've been talking about in the background. That listen, we gonna get into it today. If you don't know the fight, do you watch boxing or
I
things?
already got my money on. I got my money on Davis. I put my bet in last week.
You put your bid in last week. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. So, all right. Well, if that's the case, then we won't discuss that. Tonight, I'm hosting a fight party, so that's why like my time is like condensed tonight because I have guests coming over as soon as I'm done streaming, and I don't even think I'm really done cooking, but I'm hosting, so here we go. Um, Okay, so now you see in the title, I didn't really have I had the complete um, subject matter in the title, but I kind of obscured it because I didn't want to, as they say, alert the wrong type of people.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? In terms of people that would take offense, right? Because this is one of those circumstances where hold on, let me see. This is one of those circumstances where it would be offensive. I'm not
Right.
even gonna lie. So I guess we can talk about what that really is, and I'll let you go on that. But you see how I worded it, right?
Right. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, like I kind of worded it kind of kind of obscure. Okay, kind of obscure, but we gonna talk about this because I already know once I chop this up and start putting this on Instagram, people gonna be like, what did they say? You know. And I'm just so I guess enamored that I'm actually doing this. And we spoke before about me just trying to be consistent with these topics because I like topics that I don't hear other places because it allows me to grow. Um, so I'm really moving in this as a student. But this topic tonight about instead of saying domestic V, we'll just say DV.
Right.
And I said snow bunnies because there was a little bit of undertone there because of just the elephant in the room versus DV with black women, right?
You can
Or
tell them
as
how it started. It started with the conversation with the Jonathan Majors situation. That's how this all came about.
yes, that is how this all came about. Now, okay, so now that we're here, right? And I heard that there was some other allegations that was put out.
Pending.
Yeah, yeah, with him. Um, this was I don't know all of that, right? I just know about the first one.
Me too.
So, and we already know when it comes to celebrities, everybody's going to claim that he put his penis in them, and
Right.
all of that. So, and they wasn't claiming this last year, right? When it happened, obviously now that they have some whatever. But what I want to really talk about is the elephant in the room when it comes to black men and their experience with domestic violence overall, not individually, but overall with Black women versus white women. And I'll give you my assessment, right? Historically, it seems that white women are always in the know that they have sociological and political power over Black men. And this is, in a sense, why they seek Black men out, because at any given time, they know they can exert their power over them and get their way. So they can't do that with their own. They can only do that with Black men. And at least from historical data and actual data, when it comes to, you know, the marriage rates between Black men and white women, and I mean all race, all ethnicities of white, it seems to be just a bad thing. And in my opinion, that low rate of marriage and high rate of divorce between those two is really because white women or non-Black women are always cognizant of what they have over on men, especially Black men. And like the nature of women, they will use what they need to get what they want. And I mean, they will use what they have to get what they want. And I feel like that has a lot to do with why domestic violence looks different when it comes to Black men, especially Black celebrities and white women, and men in general with white women, because they understand, even though they don't say it, they show in their actions and on a large scale that this is something that, even though, you know, they'll never admit to it, they understand works in their favor if they have to employ it. And I think that's what's at the core of this. What say you?
I think we got to go back to the first issue is why are Black men choosing white women over Black women? And I think that's a bigger issue to address before we even get to what's happening during the relationships or after the relationships or what's happening to the divorces. Why are we choosing to date outside of our race? We know for a fact most men are race loyal. And I believe one of the reasons we're doing that is because of the image of the Black woman and what's being portrayed in the media, which is mostly consumed by women.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're saying, before we can even talk about, you know, DV, right, and how it affects Black men on a race scale between the two, we got to understand how they got to that point in the DV first. Okay, so all right. Now, I don't believe that Black men, in essence, or at least in large, choose Black women. I'm sorry, Black women over white women, or white women over Black women. I don't think it's about choosing over. I think most people choose from their circle, their neighborhood, and most people meet people in places where they work or they frequent. And usually Black people live around each other and they frequent each other. And generally speaking, people marry who they're most comfortable with. So for a Black man to have access to Black women, right? And he chooses, he purposely says no to this, like consciously, then chooses a white woman. That's because of his personal experience with Black women, that he's associated with that entire race. Now, on the flip end, you have Black men who have had experiences with white women, and this is why they may say, I would never touch a white woman, because of their experience, not necessarily because, well, they're choosing Black women over white women as if they're both in the running. It seems to me when Black men say, I have a preference for white or I'm choosing white, it's always tied to Black women. It's never tied to, well, white women are just, you know, they've just been great to me and I found someone that I like. It's always, well, the Black woman is, and that to me is not a preference. That to me is, you have a bias, and that bias is based on your experience. So when you come into these relationships with a bias against Black women, and you find yourself in a domestic violence circumstance with a white woman, right? Now you're talking about a different psychology now that's going to kick in, because you chose this woman because she wasn't like what you thought you were leaving. But when you found out, not only is she the same, she has leverage over me that a Black woman don't. Now, the leverage, some black men may say, well, there's no leverage, women lie, right? No, not like white women. There has been no towns burned down because of a black woman. There has been no cases that have been won on the black women's side in large without any DNA evidence. Black women generally, stuff happens to them and they're viewed a certain way by the courts, just generally speaking, although some slip through the cracks, as we know. But generally speaking, the dynamic is different. So now that we establish, okay, a guy chooses a white woman because he's immersed in what she brings to the table as a person, not white women, because no black man is trying to look at Karen, okay? But as
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, so no, what it is they're not openly choosing Karen. They're thinking they're choosing a Veronica over a Karen, right? Or Chrissy over Karen. They're not thinking they're running in directly into Karen. That's what they think. But when they come into these domestic violence circumstances, it's different. What, you think they got?
I don't believe it's as different as much difference. I don't believe it's as much difference as you believe it is.
What?
I think
the data. Where's the data? The data.
You know, I sent you some videos now.
I know you did. And I don't even know how to get it from my phone here because I'm still in training. But
I went to Instagram. I don't know if I can screen. I think I saw a method to screen share on here. But I had a couple videos, especially the one that I sent you.
Yeah.
About the black woman who had shot her husband on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And you remember what that video was about? He was with a black woman.
He was with a black woman, yeah.
And she just killed him because they were having a disagreement. And I think the bias doesn't come from so much as a hate thing. I think the bias comes from what's being shown by black women. I think men, y'all don't understand that even though women are the primary consumers of the social media, we see this. We see what's going on. We see what y'all are doing. We see what y'all are presenting on social media. And we're like, I think Karen would be better to deal with than that.
You think Karen?
I think I'd rather deal with Karen than that.
Well, okay.
We got to deal with somebody. We want to deal with somebody. We got to pick a struggle. So the question is, which struggles we going to pick? Are we going to pick that? Or are we going to pick the death, the shooting, the being bothered? Or are we going to pick the Karen?
Well, wait, hold. Okay. Now, let's be clear. In that video, you can tell by the way everyone in the video presented themselves, they were of a certain class. Let's say a certain class and ilk. Okay. He was not with some woman that was beneath him. He was not. She was his equal. Now, granted, I'm not saying she's his equal as in he's a killer, because what happened in that circumstance was her being emotional and her losing it because of her lack of control, respect, and a bunch of other shit. However, what happened with Oshun Selly, the African guy out here or whatever that got stabbed up by that white woman, he didn't get stabbed up by her over the same reasons dude got killed by the black girl you sent me. No, it's a whole different dynamic. When she stabbed him, she knew she's gonna be protected by her men. And the way she acted was like, yeah, sure, of course I killed a black man. What? I'm crazy. I'm not gonna do no time. But remember, with the black woman that shot dude, she automatically knew when that gun went off, your life is over.
Right.
So here's the thing. Why is that? Why is it that when a white woman kills a black man and a black woman kills a black man, the black woman know your life is over at this point? Start screaming. Yes, because it's over. Start running because it's over. But the white woman, whole nother circumstance. And what I'm saying is, if it's a better bet to go with Karen will kill you just as quick as Keisha.
I'm not saying it's a better bet. I'm saying it's a different outcome. I truly think that I don't.
Different? In terms of the
outcome, black women again. I don't think y'all understand what y'all portray in the media and what's being portrayed by black women, like to the point to where men are just saying no. It don't matter what else is over on the other side of the fence, as long as it's not this.
But it is that. Ratchet
it's
is
not the
ratchet.
same. And I'm
You
never
you
gonna, you know
you
what? I
but
mean,
you
I'm
know
just trying
but
to.
you know ratchet white women is the same as ratchet black women. Ratchet is ratchet. A white woman telling you when you have a baby
Nah,
with her, you not a father because you didn't come pick up your child or you was late, right? That's the same ratchetness that a black chick is gonna give you too. It's just we don't see it in the media because the media is censored, first of all. And we already know black people are overrepresented in certain roles versus other roles. You know, white women are the fastest growing
what
single
media is
mothers
censored?
in the country, but you don't see them
What media is
online
censored?
being portrayed that way.
Which media is censored? The black media?
Oh, no. I'm saying any media that black people are currently like on, but they don't control, it's heavily censored, and especially syndicated television, especially that. But everything is censored, and it's only censored to give a certain impression. Meanwhile, we already know the statistics. Statistically, white women are the fastest growing single mothers, which tells you that white women are the fastest growing women that are not choosing marriage and saying no to men and black men. That we know that obviously they the fastest growing single mothers in the world right now, right? And that's here in America. I don't know if that extends to Europe, but that's in America. So my thing is, when we know in our personal life that there's ratchet white women, a whole lot of them. Not 60% of white people are overweight. We already know this. We already know that white women can be the most passive aggressive people you can understand, and Lifetime television put it lightly. Okay, so why is it that we can have these experiences but then say, well, somehow domestic violence is better with a white woman versus a black woman? Meanwhile, the only thing different with her is that she has white men that's going to cape for her, even though she is on tape stabbing you, killing you, blood on her face, fingerprints on the knife. She's gonna get the princess treatment because of her race from her men. And I'm saying, well, if you're gonna bet, I just don't see it, because historically, if I was a black man, I'd be scared of white women. Honestly, after what I done seen.
First problem number one is you said if you were a black man.
Yes, if
Number two, I am.
Okay.
I am a black man.
Okay.
And one of the things that women tend to not understand is your opinion don't matter. Our opinion matters. What we view matters. What we consume matters. And what we decide matters. That's what matters. Mm-hmm. Regardless of however you want to look at it, whatever we say, which is why people like Jonathan Majors said, you know what? I'd rather go get on with somebody else. Because
wait. Let's talk about Jonathan Majors. Okay. Mm-hmm. As of recently, he has been looking very masculine, very black masculine, right? Prior to recently, I've seen some pictures, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Most black men would say, "Yeah, he not looking his most masculine. He looking a little different." Okay. Now we all know black women are attracted to the most masculine looking black men. If he looking like he just dark for a mixed dude, and he's small built, and his head kind of bigger than his neck too much, and he just kind of have this clunky way about him that's not as masculine as most women are looking for biologically. Why is this a matter of, well, since black women don't want it, let me go with white women? White women don't want less masculinity than black women. That's not what that is. But now that he's looking very black masculine, now he feels like he wants to say, well, now I don't know if he really feels this way. I'm just assuming, but now it's like, well, let me go get a white woman because black women didn't want me. Meanwhile, you already know it's not a matter of black women not wanting you. White women can deal with you because they have a kink for you. But in fact, the only reason why they feel safe doing that is because of what their men has established for them. That's it. Other than that, they're not willing to be poor with you. Not even by half, let alone in mass. They're not willing to struggle with you. They're not willing to do that. That's not it. You got to actually.
And black women are.
I'm not talking about black women. I'm not talking about black women. I'm talking about white women.
You said white women aren't willing to struggle and be poor with you, and I'm saying black women
are. In mass, white women deal with black men in certain circumstances, and we see it. It's like a cycle. We see it. So my thing is, the only reason why white women can act the way they act is because of the way their men act. That's it. If their men act differently, you would see something different. So my thing is, at this point in time, when it comes to expressing the fact that, okay, you're a black man, you chose a white woman because you felt it was better, but then you realize you lost everything, because domestic violence is domestic violence, and a woman can lie just like any woman can lie. So now what? Now are you going to hate all white people, all white women, or are you going to jump to Chinese women and find out that's even different? They put hands on people for real, like for real. Like, so where does it end?
It ends. So I gotta go back. I agree with your concept about white women are able to do the things they do because of their white men, but I think you need to carry that over to black women too. Black women are able to do the things that they do because of their men, because we have allowed our black women to have, this is gonna sound controversial, but it is what it is. We've allowed our black women to have too much power, especially over social media.
And you said black men allow black women to have too much power?
Black men have allowed black women to have too much power on social media, in the laws, because these laws, the same thing that you're talking about, have the same effect on our side as well. We've experienced the same things. We experience the same biases. Black women ain't trying to deal with poor black men. That's why he couldn't get done. Y'all ain't trying to deal with no poor black men. Y'all, we have songs of I don't cook, I don't clean, but I still got this ring. Okay. We got songs y'all praising this stuff.
Okay, I got something for you though. Here's the thing: no woman is trying to struggle, because femininity doesn't thrive in struggle, right?
So then we take race out of it. Then.
But here's the thing: I'm not saying white women should want to struggle with anybody. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they pick and choose. It's not about genuinely loving black men, because if we did, we would see the same thing across the board, but we don't. We see it specifically in certain areas and only there. But here's the thing, right, about black men allowing black women to do anything. At this stage in the game, black men are not allowing black women to have a certain image on social media. This is white men. Black men are not the ones in control of the music industry. This is white men. You have one or two women talking about they don't cook and clean. Meanwhile, all the women in the hood that I know cook and clean. All the women that I know, 99% of them are struggling with black men, even though they don't.
White men promoted that.
No. What I'm saying is, I give it to you. No woman wants to struggle with a man. We don't. But the question.
No, what I'm saying is, who put out that song and controlled whether it became popular or not?
But I'm gonna get to that. We don't want to struggle with men. However, the fact is black women have struggled with black men. The fact is black women do struggle with black men. This data coming out about black women not benefiting from marriage is based on the struggle, not based on black women practicing hypergamy for real. Like, that's not what that is. And the fact that they're the least able to come outside of their race, or at least wanting. A lot of men say black women can't. But on the studies that I've seen, they're being asked, if you could date out, would you? And most say no, period. It's not about, well, they can't. Even if they were given the opportunity, they say they're not attracted to non-black men. So I would push back on that. And as far as the media thing, it's like the song that you said, right? People will do anything for $1, but that does not mean that minority of people that's being pushed within the music industry, which is the top 1%, is representative of everybody, even by half in the community. That's not what that means. And my thing is, if we say black men allow black women to run this muck of a game on social media, black men would have to be in charge of social media and the music industry and a couple other industries too, in order for you to say, well, black men allow this.
So who, again, I still didn't give my question answered.
What?
About who made that song popular? How did that song by Cardi B get so popular? Who pushed it?
It got popular by the radio stations that pushed it day in and day out.
By who? So white men was promoting those radio stations? White men were saying.
How many black people do you know that own radio stations?
Plenty of them. Black people. We didn't came up now. It's not the 1970s.
I know one owned in the DMV area by black people, and honestly, I'm saying that, but I know there's white heavy white influence over there.
No, black women are the ones pushing these songs. Black women are the ones consuming these songs. Black women are the reason why they're getting so much radio play. There's a song out right now.
You saying the beat don't have nothing to do with it?
No, the who?
The beat don't have nothing to do with it.
No, it's the words. They don't like the words. Y'all like.
So you saying that black men love the words of other black men killing black men, right? They don't love the beat. They love the words of killing.
Of course. There's a song. Have you heard the song? My front is pink and my back is brown. You ever heard that song?
You know good and dang well I ain't hear that song.
I'm gonna send it to you, and you're going to. It's a girl by the name of Sexy Red. Mm-hmm. She's becoming popular based off of her new song about her front being pink and her backside being brown. That's literally the words to the song. There's a reason why the song by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, The WAP, went popular. It wasn't about no beat. It was because everybody wanted to hear how WAP was. That's why it became popular.
Okay. Well, since
that was not pushed by white men. That was not pushed by white media. That was pushed by black media. Black people consumed it. Black people purchased it. Black people made it popular. No. What makes a song popular is how many times they can play it on that radio by force, not how many people like it. We're in a streaming age now. You get streams off of TikTok. You get popular off of Apple Music, Spotify. It's not just about radio anymore. We're in a whole different age now.
Okay.
So now you can get popular just off because your song. You got a TikTok dance to it.
Okay. What about the song? Remember that song that a girl, I think it was a girl or a group came out with? It was called Chicken Noodle Soup and a Soda, something like that. Remember that? Okay, so you telling me like when people was dancing to that, right? That the reason why they were dancing isn't because of the music; it was because they just like chicken noodles and they want to hear about chicken.
Who was dancing to it? Who was dancing to it?
I seen a lot of people dance to it.
You saw a lot of white people dancing to it? You saw a lot of white people?
I at the time, I only lived in an all-black neighborhood, so I only seen white junkies at the time. And they were dancing to it, but I'm not going to count them as white people because they were junkies.
I primarily saw black people dancing to it. That became.
I lived in the black area, so I seen black people dance to it.
Okay, so we're the ones who, again, so what my problem is, it's not that we're arguing about who consumed it more. If black people truly didn't want this to be portrayed, why are we consuming it at all?
Okay, how about the fact that not all black people consume that? How about that?
Majority of them do. Majority of them. If all you need is 51%, if 51% like it, then we're going to keep pushing it. If 51% of black people say this is a hit, we love it, we're going to listen to it, no matter what you say, even though it's about a WAP, and they love it, of course it's going to go.
But wait a minute, if 20% will get somebody paid millions, and I mean off of just one dumb song, if 20% gets you $6 billion, it's gonna fly.
No, we talking about the ones that went platinum. The WAP.
Know what? Platinum. Listen.
20% it went platinum because I'm not going to even say we. Black women said, you know what? We like this. We love this. This is what we're going to play. Black women have y'all and y'all outnumber black men. So of course, if y'all say yes, we like this song, it's going to go hot. My problem is that the stuff that's being portrayed in social media is being.
Are you sure it was black women? Are you sure it was black women and some of that isn't black men consuming it too, and children? How about that? Children. Yeah. How about that?
Do black men outnumber black women?
In the US, they don't. It's almost 50-50.
It's not even close to 50.
Yes, it is. Now in the world, no, but in the US, yes. Those numbers of the days where there was 3 women to 5 women to every one guy, conglomerately, as far as black women are concerned, and women in the US, it's like 49-51, basically basically like this. It's not like this. It's like this.
Now, I'm gonna check those numbers.
Yeah, you know what? You can check the numbers. Check the numbers.
Last time I checked, it was like 2/3. It was like 2/3 black women to 1/3 black men. That was the last time I checked.
The last time I seen those numbers is during the war, when there was mostly men being killed. And
so basically what you're saying is that, so your stance is that white men or white people are the ones that's pushing this image that black women are masculine and
I'm gonna be honest with you, if it wasn't for white people consuming this music in their communities, right? Because here's the thing: when you drive through Middle America and stuff like that, and you start seeing them bumping all these black songs and all this black music, and they just all white, okay? It's because of their numbers that these songs get played to the degree where it's all this money. Because here's the thing: we only make up a percentage in this country. The music industry is not based on 10% of the population. That's not it. We don't make up them kind of numbers to push that kind of media. We just don't. But here's the thing: it works in non-black people's favor to push a certain narrative about black women or any woman with brown in her skin, because it saves their women. And we know, based on, for instance, Birth of a Nation, that movie was put out to force white people to see black men as rapists, to force them, even though that wasn't the case. They put that movie out to show other white people, hey, this is what's going on in America that you don't see. All these black people just raping our women. Meanwhile, that was a whole lie. That has been the case with the movie industry, with the music industry this entire time. So when I say, well, you know, this narrative that all black, not all black, but most black women are bumping WAP or bumping Cardi B or something like it, it's like, that's not it. When I was a teenager, right, we was into Little Kim. You know why? Because the music industry for us was different coming out of the 90s, because hip hop was becoming a new thing and everybody was gravitating to it. Now that hip hop is not a new thing, people in my age group, we're not gravitating to songs similar to what Little Kim was putting out back in the day. That it's not even the same anymore. Like you said, it's streaming. So
hold that thought. At the time when Little Kim was coming out, was Queen Latifah out as well?
She been out.
But she was out around that time as well, right?
I wouldn't say at the same time they was making music. I wouldn't say that.
Who became more popular? Queen Latifah, as far as rap is concerned, who became more popular, Queen Latifah or Lil Kim?
I want to say Little Kim.
Who had a better music career with platinum songs?
Well, Queen Latifah was more popular within the black community at the time she came out back in the late 80s, but Little Kim became more popular worldwide. Yeah.
And she was the one that was speaking about the ratchet stuff. And Queen Latifah was rapping about the women positivity, don't call me a B, right? She was rapping about the positive stuff, but everybody gravitated towards the negative ratchet Little Kim, right?
Well, I don't feel like people gravitated to Little Kim over Queen Latifah and the likes. It's just the music progressed down that road. But keep in mind, okay, maybe you might be right. I blame Little Kim's ass, because I remember the feminists back when she was there told her, you're gonna force women to be a certain way with this music that you're putting out. And everybody on all the talk shows was grilling this woman. All the feminists were saying you're gonna change the face of women. And look what we have. But keep in mind, who put that battery in her back to act like that? Puffy.
The people consume it.
Yeah, Puffy. Puffy is the one that said, you know what, I could do something with this. And it's like, look what he did. Look what he did.
So you're saying that a black man.
So you said a black man allowed black women.
You just said Puffy, right? You just said Puffy. Ma'am, you said Puffy. So
yeah, I'm saying Puffy because that is what happened.
So a black man gave a black woman too much power, and that created this terrible thing. Is that what you just said?
You know what? I'm not even going to say power, right? I'm going to say this. He was in a position of power, and he allowed something to be utilized through his power.
So,
and but he didn't care what the ramifications of it was. And because of that, this is what happens. I don't feel like he gave her power. It's like she didn't have power. She had an opportunity to do something, and through what he had, that's what happened.
So a black man allowed a black woman under his wing, under his label, to get the notoriety and get the popularity. He allowed her to do this, and then it became a bad thing. Is that what your sister just said?
So she wanted to do popular conscious songs, but then they told her, We would rather you do put the spaghetti strings around your nipples and start talking about other stuff. They told her this is what we want you to do, and because you have talent, this is how you're going to get paid. Now, mind you, she needed money, so she did what every poor person probably would do, which was cave in a little bit, and then that little bit turned into everything else.
So a black woman chose the easy payout route instead of going with the Queen Latifah, who was promoting, don't call me a B. I don't care about the nipple strings. I'm gonna dress how I want to dress. She chose the money route, right?
She did. And I will put that square on her. She chose the money route. And here's the thing. Even after the fact, when she was told, hey, your music is affecting children, this is going to affect the next generation coming up, which was my generation at the time. Mm-hmm. She didn't care because she was saying, well, I can do what I want to do, which is true. She can, but she wasn't catching what they were saying. And given they were feminists, what they were saying is, listen, your music is for grown women, if you're going to talk about that, but it's not grown women consuming your music. It's little kids. And that's why I told you, is it black women making these songs big right now? Or is it the overall population that also includes black men to a degree and children to a large degree, or teenagers?
You just said it was Little Kim's fault that she did it. Little Kim chose to do that. Little Kim said, I'm going to do this regardless of what I know right or wrong. She said, I'm going to do this. Why don't you put the same emphasis on the Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallions who are doing that right now?
Well, one, because Cardi B ain't even black, but I get it. I get what you're saying. I give you that. She's not even black. Enough. Now, here's the thing. I put the onus on the women that are doing it today because you don't need the labels anymore. See, people can hide behind back in the day. You couldn't get no music career if you didn't have the labels. But today, I know people that are making just as much money streaming
off of TikTok,
right. And you can make money. So it's no excuse for you to say, well, the industry now. So yeah, now I put that on there. But when it comes to,
I thought you just said it was
when it comes to syndicated television, when it comes to the internet itself, I know through my own personal experience that this is heavily censored towards a certain narrative. Even with all that being said, I'm not taking the onus off them white men. I'm gonna keep it right on them. But
but they can't push something that we don't give them to push. Who's giving it to them to push it in the first place?
Okay. 1 point for Larry.
I don't give you.
I got you. But here's the thing, Larry. There's always been ratchet women. Look at Ma Rainey. You know,
there has always been ratchet women because when I watched, what was that movie? Judas and the Black Messiah. Mm-hmm. When I watched Judas and the Black Messiah and I saw our black women coming together back during the Martin Luther King and the Malcolm X days, I didn't see all this ratchet stuff. I saw black women say, no, we're going to look just like the white girls. We're going to present ourselves just like the white girls so that you don't have a negative image to portray of us. They said, no, we're going to dress this way.
The white women's image started changing amongst them. Now, we know that, for instance, Girls Gone Wild, that was one at the lowest of white women's image, right? And then when they started doing all these reality shows, that was at the lowest image of white women. Next thing you know, black women started creating the same things, and this was just a trend that kept following. But here's the thing: you don't hear about white image representative of this in mass because there's more of them doing this bullshit than us.
No, I don't think so. Not today. Black women have took over. The reality shows, the Girls Gone Wild, the OnlyFans, black women have just completely.
I don't think you looking at the snow bunnies. That's why you're saying we took over. You ain't looking at the snow bunnies.
I'm looking at what's being pushed towards me, and I'm looking at who putting it out. See,
I see a lot of snow bunnies on my page. That got OnlyFans that's doing all. I see a lot of white women doing that.
This goes back to what I said from the very beginning. I'm the one with the penis, so. What if you're trying to get a black man and I'm seeing this and I'm telling you what I'm seeing, regardless of what's being shown to you, I'm telling you as a black man, this is what I see from my people, from my women. And I'm just like, dude, that's all I see is black women doing this. And probably because, I don't focus on snow buddies. I focus on my women. And if that's all that's coming towards me, what am I left to do with that?
Okay, what do you have to do with? So you leave it. You say I'm not dealing with black women because black women are ratchet. Now here's the thing.
I blame black women for that because black women.
Okay. Let's blame black women for that, right? How many black men do you know, right? Pound for pound, and be honest, that don't deserve the ratchet women that they immerse themselves in?
I know it's the number is the minority number. It's not like a majority of black men I know that just are, working towards, becoming a better person. It's probably, I would say out of all the black men I know, about 30%.
That's the same numbers over here. About 25, 30%, roughly between 27 and 30% of black men actually live their life in a way in which they can say, hey, I don't like ratchetness, whether it's in a black woman or a white woman. Only 30%, but the rest of them, we can't even begin to talk now. But the rest of them are experiencing DV from white women and black women alike, just like the 30% is, right? So now that we say, okay, as a man who will accept ratchetness from black women or white women, right? When you experience DV, right? For you to say that, well, it's worse on the black side than the white side, you're not looking at all of everything that comes along with that DV, right? Like Jonathan Majors, a black woman say you did something. When we find out she lying, that's going to be it. Something will probably happen to her for real. But if it doesn't,
we got a case right now.
But wait, if it doesn't, cool. But when a white woman say you raped her, notice all the black men that have ever tried to do anything in the movie industry, suddenly a white woman is claiming that they raped you, that you raped them. Suddenly. Always under some weird circumstances. Always. It's never regular. So what does this say about white women? Why is it that white women never get the stigma of, doing what they do? But when black women do it in any degree, again, and I was speaking earlier on a panel today about this, what a minority of black women do always represents the whole. What a minority of white women do only represents that minority. It doesn't represent the whole in nobody's mind. And then we're claiming what black women are or are not. Can we not see that when you are willing to accept DV from a woman who has the backing of her men and she knows it over your own, it's like, what's the end game? The end game can't be, well, I don't want a woman that ain't ratchet. You got a woman that's ratchet.
Let's use your example of you gonna get DV no matter which side you're on. Let's use that example.
Mm-hmm.
What else am I getting to go with that? Am I getting a cooperative? Am I getting a submissive?
Probably not.
Am I getting fit and friendly as well? Because if I'm gonna get DV from both sides, I'm gonna get ratchet from both sides. Am I getting a cooperative? Am I getting a fit? Am I getting a feminine?
No. You're not getting it on the white side, and everybody knows it.
No, you're not getting it on the black side. No. You're not getting it on the black
divorce rates. If that was the case, the divorce rates between black men and white women would be somewhat higher, because right now it's in the trash.
The divorce rates are not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is why can't we get those things from our women? Why can't
you're not getting them from white women? That's what I'm saying.
We are getting them from white women.
That's all cap. That's all cap. That is cap.
If they were
acting like that, and then suddenly they no.
Use the divorce rates that you're saying. So use the divorce rate. You're saying black men that are married to white women are getting divorced.
That's the highest rate in the world.
They wouldn't even get married if they weren't getting what they wanted from jump.
But okay, let's stay there.
So why are black?
Let's stay there. Right. Let's stay there. Do you think a woman that would put your life on the line knowingly because she knows because she's white, she can get away with it, right? And she can lie on you and do all that, right? And do you think that you're getting femininity from her? That one? The one that is only with you because, truth be told, it's a fetish, and or you have money, and or she likes to slum, and or she already understands at some point she'll leave you when the money dries up and she need to get back with her white people before she retires. What do you really think that you're getting femininity out of someone that hates you?
So again, if that were the case, if black men weren't getting femininity from these women, they would not be getting married in the first place to have those divorce numbers. We would not marry them if we did not get what we wanted. Why Why would they keep going to them and saying, oh my God, she's wife worthy. I want to put a ring on her. I want to give her my last name. I want to give her access to be able to do all these things if they weren't getting what they wanted. If that was the case, if they knew these things from jump, if they knew all this stuff, they would not do this, but they're getting it. That's my problem. We would not leave our Black women if we were getting what we wanted from jump. The reason we're even going over there and saying, hey, I'm going to put a ring on it is because they're at least giving it to us before they get the ring. At least they know dating a Black man, I got to pretend. At least they know I got to act like I'm feminine. I got to act like I'm submissive from jump. Black women aren't even giving us that during the dating phase. So that's why we have so many Black men getting married to white women in the first place.
Okay, so you're saying that you're giving me something fake at least, but you know the Black women aren't faking the funk with me. They giving me their authentic self up front. The white woman she'll at least fake like she care until them boys show up. Like,
and if I gotta pick a struggle, and if I gotta pick one, I at least want to get it, whether it's fake or not. I at least want to get it.
Whatever happened to understanding what you're doing in the long term? Whatever happened to a woman can fake femininity and crush your life after a ring, let alone before a ring. Like, whatever happened to do not look at white women as if they are feminine. Look at all women based on the merit of it, not so much, oh, well, at least over there in mass, we're getting this. At the end of the day, I never dated Black men in mass. I never dated any man in mass. I date the men that I'm attracted to. So if you're telling me as a Black man, you're not attracted to any woman that's not ratchet, that tell me where you live at. That tell me what your financial background is. That tell me a lot, because I'm telling you now, in the circles I run in, that ain't the culture. So that tells me a lot about you and what you have access to. So the fact of the matter is, if we know that white women are no better than Black women or any other woman, right? We know that, right? We can look at the numbers now. We got technology. Why are we still choosing based on arbitrary facts, like what white women in general do so good? Meanwhile, what white men in mass is telling you that white women is the best?
I think, again, we're confusing the fact that you saying that we know this based on the divorce rates. I don't know that. The only thing I know for a fact is what I see every day when I pick up my phone and I start scrolling on Instagram and I see Black women shaking their ass or smacking a dude up or demanding that a man come to the table with this, and this. And then you ask them, okay, well, what do I bring? And they say, I'm the table. That's what I know for a fact is what I see every day.
You never heard a white woman say, I'm the table?
I have heard that, but that's not what I see every day. What I see every day when I look at my women is, I'm the table. I ain't bringing shit. I don't cook, I don't clean, but I still got this ring. That's what I see every day.
Well, you know what? I'm inside of the white women circles on Facebook, inside those closed door conversations. And all I see is women on there asking, how can I fake a cum? How can I make him think I haven't cheated, even though I smell like cum when I come home? Like, oh yeah, I hear those kinds of questions, and they be giving each other secrets on how to basically fool their own men, let alone anybody else. Like, that's what I see. I see a lot of ratchetness from white women, but it's online. But keep in mind, it's not where Black men or men in general are gonna see it. But at the end of the day, I know.
That's smart, right?
Wait. I know. No, it's not. No, listen, that's not the idea. Black women doing their dumb stuff in private, that's not the idea. At the end of the day, right? What we're saying is this: if Black men are choosing white women because what they get up front is so good, right? Why is it on the back end they're having the worst time when it comes to actually choosing these women if what they're getting on the front end is so good? Now, this don't have nothing to do with nobody but Black men and non-Black women.
What's the alternative to go to Black women?
No, I'm not saying they even have to choose an alternative, right? What I'm saying is you would think if they're getting something that they want and need, period. Why is it that, because most men will choose the woman that give them peace. If you're getting that, why is it that in mass, you are number one in divorce in the world? Like, if you're getting, and here's the thing, Black women ain't even getting married. When Black men marry white women, they divorce at a higher rate than Black people divorce each other. And Chinese people divorce each other. Chinese and white and Asian and Spanish, they divorce at the highest rate. Now you're telling me, based on our history in this country, that has nothing to do with racial dynamics?
No, from what you just described, the problem is women, period, regardless of race. You just said black women aren't getting married at all, right? So clearly the numbers are telling you that black men aren't getting what they want up front. So they choose to, I'm gonna just not get married to you at all. They go to white women, they're getting what they want up front, even though it may end bad, but they say, at least I can get it at some point. What the numbers are telling you is we're not getting it at all from our own women, so we'd rather go over here. But the problem is women in general, because they all end up bad. If the divorce rate is going down, that mean it don't mean it's white, black, or none of that. That just means it's just bad. But at least I can get something up front. That's it. That's what the numbers are telling me as a man.
Do you feel that as a man, getting fake femininity in this space now, because I see a lot of men complaining about fake femininity, do you think that fake femininity is still going to reign supreme when it comes to choosing, given what we're experiencing now with with the uptick of white women doing more crimes on black men? Because I the video you showed me, that's something that I never heard of anything like that happen in my entire life, living in one of the blackest cities in the country on the East Coast. And I never heard of that. That was my first time, but I know it probably has happened more times than I've heard about it. I admit that. However, that like the idea of cutting off a man's penis and doing all of that, we know that happens in the white community. So my thing is, when it comes to fake femininity, at least from what I'm seeing, white men have said no to fake femininity. They started MGTOW. They started a couple other things. They said no to that. Now, why is it that, in your opinion, that black men feel like, okay, I'm going to keep saying yes, and then in the end, I'm going to lose everything, including my chance at another white woman and or a black woman? Like, why is it that we keep on associating domestic violence and everything that's negative about it with black women, when in reality the worst outcomes is like what we're seeing with these white women?
So listen to your scenario. You said white men are also saying the same thing. We don't want the fake femininity.
No, they're saying they don't want fake femininity up front.
So they just don't want to get married at all, correct?
And that's what it seemed like.
They're going MGTOW. They're saying we don't want to get married at all.
Right.
But they had at least a fake femininity. Black men are telling you we can't even get the fake femininity. So at least we want to at least see what the fake femininity even gets us. So we better go over there, try that. And then that's not working, then we'll go the other route. But the problem is that if what you were saying were true, if white men and blah, 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 why aren't anybody choosing black women? Why are they the least married? Why aren't they even getting to the point to where we're getting divorced? Why are white women the highest divorce? Why aren't black women even getting the rate? Because they won't even come with fake femininity. They just believe we don't have to do shit. We can just come with whatever we want, be as masculine as we want, and everybody just got to take us, and that's why they're not getting married at all.
Okay.
Nobody's choosing them.
Okay, no. Let's be clear about something, right? White men not choosing black women as a mate, that's kind of a natural thing. Like, it's natural for white men to want to be with their women first, if not only. So that's not to say black women are anything, because they're choosing their own women to marry and procreate with. And that's what I feel like too many people are missing. Black men choosing their own women is not automatically to say there's something wrong with white women. It's natural for black men to want to be with black women. That accounts for a certain percentage of that. Another percentage of the circumstance that you're talking about is there's other things that affect marriage rates other than people's personal thoughts about marriage and themselves. There's finances that heavily contribute to that, and those financial circumstances have taken a very hard hit since COVID and since before COVID. Okay, the in-prison rate affects marriage rates as well. Okay, if you got a prison record, what's the likelihood that you're gonna get married when you're younger?
Agreed.
I'm just saying, like, and we already know there's more black men in prison that haven't committed a crime, that committed a lesser crime but got a harsher sentence. We know that. So it's like there's so many things affecting why black women are not necessarily married and why black men aren't necessarily married in large, let alone two black women. There's so many things, but we're focused on, oh, well, there's a percentage of them that just don't want to act right. Meanwhile, every group has that.
But every group isn't the lowest married. Every group isn't only
They got
getting
other things going on that make it weird, though they're not.
25% of Latina women aren't just getting not married at all. They're at least trying it. They're at least doing what their men, they're at least giving it a try. They're saying, you know what, we're going to try to give the man what he wants. If it don't work, it don't work. Well, my problem is black women aren't even willing to do that. They're coming to the table and just saying, we're not going to try shit. We're just going to do what we want. And it just is what it is. That's why they're not getting married by no race. At least white women are saying, hey, even though our men aren't choosing us, we're going to go get these black men. We're going to fake the funk until we get what we want. And we're going to move on.
But white women have what black women don't have. White women can go to other groups of men and still know they good because they still got their men that will still advocate for them even when they with a black man. White women got the alpha men of society underneath their pinky ring, okay? That's what they got. Like Asian women, they got a whole country they can go to. They in Asia, they have a whole circumstance that affects their finances over here. Over here, all we got is us. We don't have all that extra stuff that they got. And when it comes to Spanish women, right? Let me be clear about something. Their marriage rates and how they treat each other in their countries, that don't go on up here, like to that degree. That don't go on up here. Like it's a whole different culture. So it's like, why are we putting them on a pedestal when in reality, if we deleted America and just look at the problems in these individual countries, we would see there's a class of ratchets, there's a class of upper class women, middle class, the class that will do it but don't look like it, and vice versa. Like there's a class for all of this. But those countries don't have social media the way we do to push certain narratives. Like they don't, some of them don't even have working electricity all the time. Like, why is it that we have to keep on talking about, for instance, domestic violence is worse with white women or better with black women, when in reality, domestic violence shouldn't be tolerated at all. And the fact that race is a factor in why we're choosing people and putting up with domestic violence, it's like, that's a problem.
Well, I don't think we're going in. I don't think no man is going into a relationship saying, I want to deal with domestic violence from either side. Again, I think the problem is women don't understand that we have a list of things that we want, and we're not getting them from our women. Black men have a list. We're not getting none of these from our women. If we can look at a white woman and we can at least check off 2 or 3 of these, I might give it a shot. I don't know. We're not saying yes, it's going to end in domestic violence, but what we are saying is at least if I can get some of these, I'm willing to go over there and give it a shot. And black women aren't giving us that. And you gave us these numbers where every class has a ratchet and every class has a upper class, middle class. Our problem is our ratchet numbers outnumber the other tiers.
Says who?
Says black men. Which is why black women aren't getting married.
Most black men live in the hood. Did you know that?
Ma'am, the outcomes. You keep giving me these numbers, but you're not focusing on these outcomes that you keep telling me, because the outcomes tell me that black men aren't choosing black women. The outcomes are telling me that nobody's choosing black women to marry long term. And why are they not choosing black women? That's what we need to keep. That's what we need to keep going back to.
You're forgetting that if most black people are living paycheck to paycheck, they live in a neighborhood that matches that. And in those circumstances, most people are not getting married when they can't afford food. And there's a lot of food deserts out there. That affects why most black men are not married, because most black men are not going to get married if they're not financially secure. And that has nothing to do with like women. That has to do with sociology and how things are happening.
You don't need money to get married. You don't need money to get married to make a household. What you need 2 people. You need 2 people willing to work. 2 people willing to work and build together. And the problem is, according
to some people, there are no such thing as submissive breadwinners. Okay?
The Latinas, the Latin community in America is one of the lowest income earning communities in America, but they're not the lowest married. Why?
Guess what? And you see how spicy them women is when they cuss you out. How many black women can cuss you out the way they cuss you out and still stay married?
Why aren't, based on what you just said, if they're the lowest, earning,
you caping right now.
If they're the lowest earning, why aren't they the lowest married? You just made it about finances. If they're the lowest earning, why aren't they the lowest married?
their marriage numbers are not the same up here as in this country as it is in their country. Remember, when you're in your own country, you have support that you don't have when you're in a foreign country. Why are we forgetting that?
Let's talk about the ones in America. You talking about the black people in America? We talking about the Latin people in America. They are the lowest income earning in America. Why aren't they the lowest married?
That's the reason why they're not the lowest married is because they have to be married to send money back home. They know that they have to all live together, whether they men or women, because they got to send money back home and they still have to live. They have other issues going on that we don't have. What I'm saying is,
we do.
I'm not saying we don't have issues. What I'm saying is there's more issues affecting them that are not affecting us and vice versa. So it's not all, well, black women aren't giving black men what they need or want, because we know that black men cheat. We know black women cheat. We know spicy Latinas exist. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I seen a black woman say the exact same thing as a Latina on they did a little case study, and the black woman was taken more harshly when she said the same exact thing that the Spanish girl said in Spanish to her man. And it's like people are in love with that whiteness, that non-blackness, that you can literally disrespect a man and it'll be considered sexy, versus when a black woman say the same exact thing for the same exact reason, she's considered masculine. Like, let's stop acting like that's not going on.
Why say it at all? Why say it at all?
Why say what?
Why say anything disrespectful at all? Why?
No, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. My thing is, why are we saying that you're getting something different from the Spanish woman? You're not. You're not. You're really not. You're getting a woman that when she get mad at you, she's liable to say, "Oh, you know, I didn't want the N word anyway." She's liable to say, "Oh, my child ain't black. Don't call my child black. That's my child." Like, she liable to cuss you out and your mama. Like for real. And it's like in two languages. They're not better. Their men don't consider them better. Even though they marry them, they don't consider them better. And it's like white men are the champions of that. It's like, why is it that nobody sits and look at what's happening in white America and say, you know what, white women are not the prize. But like you said, black men aren't getting the very minimum and large, so they're more susceptible for basically accepting bullshit. But why don't we say that? You're more susceptible to accepting bullshit off of a white woman because you feel like you can't get that from the women that are attracted to you. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, every black man is not dealing with ratchet black women. Every black man is not saying, "Oh, I can't get this out of black women." There's some black men, they're getting everything out of every woman they deal with, but they just not ready to take one in right now. But they're willing to fuck up all of them.
They're not getting everything that they want.
Nobody gets everything they want, but there's some black men that are out here and they are meeting woman after woman after woman that's good, but that's not ratchet, that's not on that dumb shit, but they just don't want that life at the moment or whatever the case may be. But then there's some black men that haven't met one good woman. So why are we sitting here acting like, oh, well, in large, this is what's happening when we a whole minority out here?
We're not acting like it. This is what I'm telling you. This is what's happening. This is what is here. You don't want to accept it because you don't have to deal with black women, so you don't know. The same way you was like, black, Latin women aren't doing this and white women aren't this shit. You don't know because you don't have to date these people. You don't have to deal with sitting here watching the video. I can't wait when we get off of here. I'm sending you the video of the lady who just went popular. I don't know how you haven't seen this, but you don't have to deal with these women. You don't have to make the choice to, damn, do I really want to deal with this girl who about to make me take her to Roof Chris on the first date just to go back home and sleep with Jerome as soon as I drop her off? Like, you don't have to deal with that thought. You don't have to deal with people talking about some, I am the table. You're my black woman. You make $30,000 a year doing lashes. And you over here talking about you are the table and a man got to make $8,000 just to be able to deal with you.
Okay, hold on. Here's the thing. I'm tired of people making these extreme cases the norm, because I know plenty women, and I have never heard these things before until Kevin Samuels, until that time frame. I never physically heard it. So, and I'm around a lot of women, a lot of black women. I haven't heard that. So all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, there's some women that are extreme. There's some women, no, you can't date them. There's some women that are horrible. Okay, like seriously, they're horrible. But at the same time, it's like you can't sit there and say, oh, well, most black women. Meanwhile, you don't know most black women. Meanwhile, white women have an equal problem. For instance, they're not going to sit there and tell you, well, when they get off of you, they're going to go suck somebody else's penis, or they're going to go to a sex party when you drop them off. No, they're going to treat you really nice and still do it. You understand? Like they cheat just as much. And it's like you're getting the same package. It's just packaged differently. And I get what you're saying. I give you that.
That's the point. You just made the point. That's the point. I'm getting the same packages, but it's wrapped up differently. So why the hell wouldn't I choose the one that's wrapped up better?
The reason why you think it's wrapped up better is because of that attraction to whiteness, not so much because of what you're getting. It's the attraction.
You just said I'm getting the same thing as wrapped up differently.
It's wrapped up different. So here's my thing. I'm not gonna sit and get with a white dude that's putting foot in my ass, and then get with a black dude that's putting foot in my ass and say, well, which one's wrapped up nicely? This one wears a New York hat, and this one wears a Philly hat. Like, oh wow, let me see which one's better. No one is better.
You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna say, you know what? Which one has other benefits? Is this one? If this one over here making 100,000 and that one over there making 30,000. Hey.
Oh, okay.
Is that not what's going on in society right now? Are people not saying, hey, if I can be a millionaire and and I'm getting cheated on by both, I'd rather be a millionaire and get cheated on then? Is that not what's going on right now?
Okay. Some people like Donald Trump's wife. That's her all day. I get that.
Right.
But all I'm saying is stop making it about race. Like to say most black women are like this or most white women are like this. That's not what that is. It's like it's a different package, but it's nothing different inside. You're marrying what's inside. What's inside is what's going to raise your children. What's inside is what's going to carry you through. Well, if you get married to a black woman and you got to put up with her attitude, get married to a white woman, put up with an attitude, but the minute one of them say or do something to you, you going to jail for 50 years on the white woman. I'm going to be honest with you. If you would rather go to jail for 50 years on the white woman because, of course, the white woman can't lie, the black woman is already seen as a lie in court, then that to me is weird. Very weird.
Why is Tory Lanez in jail?
Because he need to be. Let's not go there with him.
Why?
Because
did you watch the trial? You paid attention to the trial?
I did watch that trial.
You heard another black woman ask for immunity before she testified? I
heard that. I seen another trial too recently involving a white woman lying on a man. I seen that.
Yeah, no, I want to talk about my black woman that lied on a black man. That's what I want to talk about.
That's
doing years for dealing with a black woman, and it's a whole nother black woman who was there as a witness that said, I'm not testifying unless I get immunity.
How many black men are doing years over white women?
Why did she do that though? Why did our own black woman do this?
Because she's an asshole. That's why. She's an asshole. But Karen and Miss Daisy are assholes too, and they're every.
What's the difference? So what's the difference?
That's what I'm saying. There is none. So why are we acting like? Well, okay, I'll concede. There is no difference, but. There's a huge difference. Black men are willing to accept fake femininity. That's what we got down to today, right?
There's a huge difference. Is that you keep missing that one of them are packaged differently. If I can get that one that's all nice and sweet, it can go down better. You can catch what they say. You can catch flies better with honey than salt or something like that, or vinegar, sugar, honey, or honey.
You know what? That's what happened with my father. He chose my mother because of the package, the upfront package, versus another woman. And he should have been with the other woman, the darker skinned woman, but he chose my mother, and that cost everybody. I mean, we're still trying to heal from stuff that happened behind that decision.
See, but I want people to deal with that before we can deal with the other stuff. We can't go on to why the divorce rates are like this or why this is like this until we address the fact that men are asking for a better package. If we're choosing better packaging, then that's clearly should tell women, wait a minute, these fools really care about the packaging. So maybe if I want to get a ring, maybe I should package myself better, right?
Here's the thing.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No. Yes, I give you that. But here's the thing. What that does is it forces women to play games now. Because it's like,
No.
oh, all I got to do is seem like I'm this way. Then the pick me syndrome. Now all I got to do is seem like I'm this, and I'll get the ring. Meanwhile, a lot of women nowadays are questioning: are we a society that needs rings? Like, really, do we need marriage? On top of that, but for the ones that still think of marriage as something to be gotten, right? It's like, okay, let me fake femininity, get these men in the marriage, and then we're still gonna have a divorce problem.
Question: women want men with financial stability, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go around telling every man, hey, you have to be financially stable in order to deal with me, men are going to have to do what?
Level up, I guess.
So they're going to have to level. Can we fake that? Can we act like we're
men
leveling
can't
up?
fake that. Well, yes and no. You can fake it at least in terms of how you talking to somebody, but as far as like taking care of a woman, you can't fake that.
Of course not. It will. Some will try to do it the fake way, but for majority of men, we'll have to step up. We'll have to actually give women what they want to get women. That's what men are asking women to do. If you want to get men, guess what you got to do? Give men what they want. It's not about faking it. We're not asking women to fake it until they make it. We're just asking you to give us what we want, and we'll give you a ring. You just stated the numbers of how black men are marrying white women because of the packaging. So if you see black men are marrying white women because of the packaging, what is that telling black women?
That's telling black, in my opinion, that's telling black women this is your time to fake it. And I don't like that because we already got a divorce problem. That's headed right down a worse divorce problem situation in the future when people start faking it, getting into the marriage. Because half of people that's in marriage shouldn't be in there. Half of them. As far as the black community, half of them. But then it's like you're going to add more people to that pot only to get divorced more. And here's the thing: most people are questioning why they should get married only to get divorced if it's not worth it financially. And financially, black people are in a stronghold right now.
I think it's telling black women to give black men what they want.
I feel like they should, but the way that it is right now, for men saying, I want something, I want just the package to look good. I don't care if the insides, I don't care if it's real. I just want the package to look good. Women, we know how to fake shit.
We're not asking for the package. We're asking for it. We're asking for a list of things. Like I said, we're asking for a list of things. If we can get those, that's what we primarily concern ourselves with.
Okay.
We're not worried about all the extra. We're saying give us these things, and we're willing to give a ring as long as we got those.
How about this? Because the game finna come on soon, right? And I gotta get my party started. How about this? How about black men repackage what they asking for? Isn't that a business decision right there?
That's not a black man thing. We got to get it from black women. Y'all outnumber us.
No, I got what you know. I'm with you. But just like black women can stand to repackage, right? Can't men stand to repackage their requests? Talk about that.
No.
Talk about that.
She's good, guys. She went back. I'm gonna keep talking. So no, black men are not willing to repackage what we're asking for. We are not willing to lower our standards. For the most part, I would argue black men's standards are already pretty low. We're to the point to where black men are getting married outside of their race and they're not primarily concerned about looks. I would argue that our standards are already pretty low, and we've already lowered them to the point to where we're not willing to lower them anymore. We're primarily concerned about the fit, feminine, friendly, and the cooperation. And one of the reasons I heard you say that you didn't hear this before the Kevin Samuels came out. You didn't hear this. It's because it wasn't out. Nobody was saying it because they were afraid. We didn't have black media where we could voice ourselves and say, this is what we want. We weren't able to say, women are the problem. We weren't able to say these things until Kevin Samuels made it popular to just say, hey, man, speak for yourself. Say what you want.
Okay. All right. I'll say this, right? I agree and I disagree. I feel that, yes, that did happen as far as the history of it all. However, the packaging needs to be different. Meaning this. If you want a woman to be everything you want her to be, right? You already know that you have to match what you're asking for. Package that different as far as like what you to matching what you're asking for. Because every man is asking for a top grade woman. No man is asking for a mediocre woman because they make mediocre money.
So the man making
the man making 40K don't want less of a faithful wife than the millionaire.
So I gotta go to the dealership and ask for a lesser car.
No, I'm not denying anything you're saying. What I'm saying is the millionaire, the guy that's producing, he wants just as much loyalty out of his wife, his black wife, as the man making 40K, struggling every day, want out of his black wife. The same loyalty. So what I'm saying is packaging what you're asking for differently may work just as good as black women repackaging what we're offering that black men are saying that they want. All I'm saying is let's both do this.
If black men have done it, black women are the ones that ain't doing it.
Oh, you know what, Mrs. Larry, you know what? That's like that. That's like that. You saying black men have already done everything good. You might as well have a shirt to say black men are innocent. They've done nothing wrong.
He-Man Women Haters Club. You don't see my sign in the background?
Okay.
The He-Man Women's Haters Club from Little Rascals.
Okay. If that's the case, then all right. We're gonna agree that domestic violence is domestic violence, but if it's packaged right, people will choose domestic violence.
If we can get other things, we'll deal with some of the downfall. So we'll deal with settling as long as we can get some other stuff.
Oh my God. Okay. If you can get some of the other stuff, and some of the other stuff is
the things that black women won't give us.
Like what? Fellatio every day?
Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative.
No. Don't say fit and half of y'all ain't fit. Don't say friendly and half of y'all angry. Don't say cooperative and half of y'all making 40K.
Man, you can't say that because then I'm gonna say finance. We're gonna go to the finances. Half of black women want a man making 100,000 and they not. So we know.
A woman can want 100K all day long.
And a man can want fit and friendly.
Is she gonna get it?
And a man can want fit and friendly all day long.
Is she gonna get it? Right. So now that we've established you can want what you want, but whether you're gonna get that or not is a whole different situation and question. What I'm saying is what you want is a woman that you're attracted to, that respects you. That's what you want. A woman you're attracted to, and a woman that respects you, and a woman that's willing to be there and work with you, whether you have it or don't. That's essentially what you want.
And black men are getting that from other races, right? That's why they're going and get married outside of their race, correct?
I'm not saying that because it seems like it has a lot to do with self.
We're not talking about the long term. They're getting it to start with. Whether we talk about the divorce,
listen, they're getting clout for being with white chicks. That's
so those other women are saying, "Hey, those men have it. We want it. We'll take it. We'll fake the funk to get it." Right?
Yes, they are saying that. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving you that. And maybe you won this one again, Mr. Laurie. Maybe you did. Maybe you did. I'm telling you now, fake femininity is something that black men are complaining about. But you saying they don't take that from a white woman. Cool. I'm giving you that.
What I'm saying is white women didn't show y'all the cheat code. Why y'all ain't using it?
Cheat code? White women don't got no cheat code. They got white men behind them. That's the code.
The cheat code is the fake femininity. You just said it. If that's the case, why
black women don't get away with fake femininity? And I'm gonna be honest with you, and rightfully so.
Then that's why y'all the least married.
Faking like you're feminine only to get in a circumstance that's going to expose that and cause a divorce while there's children. I would rather there be no marriage than a marriage and then there's children involved.
And that's the mindset that have us with all these single parent households.
I think we better off single than being married with children and doing that crap.
Men are better off single.
I'm going to be honest with you. If everybody can work, we might need to stay single a little while longer.
Men win in that scenario.
Okay, they might win over in that scenario, but it's better than being in a marriage and then going through hell and then taking children through that hell with you. Now, that's not to talk about the single mother rate. That's a whole different conversation. But it's still the same. It's still the same issue at its core. And all I'm saying is fake femininity does not benefit Black men, except for, in the first phase, it may seem good, but then it's going to end horrible. Like, it doesn't benefit no one in the long run. So I'm not an advocate of saying to Black women, just get a ring and fake it. Like, fake like you feminine and then turn over on this man at the end. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is stay your ass single until you realize where your place is when it comes to men, how to treat men, and then deal with a man. That's how I feel like you should.
It benefited our grandparents.
No, it didn't. That's
why it did. Our grandparents benefited from just making sure we got an arrangement. Our grandparents said, you know what? I don't care if I like him or not. I need a man. I need somebody.
Right, they needed a man. They did. They didn't need a man for financial stability, for everything. They needed a man with land. They needed a man like that. Nowadays, most people don't. Most people live in cities. They don't need land. Most people are equally employed, if not gainfully employed, more than Black men. So they don't need them for finances. I mean, if there's an issue,
y'all have a man. It's called the government.
It's different.
Most of y'all have a man. It's called the government. He's paying the bills.
Black men are dependent on the government just as much as Black women, okay?
False. That is false.
Okay. Y'all don't get SSI. Y'all don't get benefits. Y'all don't get unemployment. Y'all don't get stuff like that.
Black men don't get insurance for having a kid.
No, I get insurance for having kids.
That's a government benefit. If me and you have a kid right now, you're automatically on government insurance for 18 years. And I have nothing.
No, hold on. You know I used to be a child support case manager. And they're equally, okay, there are grandparents receiving child support. There are Black men receiving child support through that. It just is. Hold on, give me a sec.
All right. If two people have a kid right now, the woman automatically gets health care for 18 years, period. She gets health care during the pregnancy. She gets health care post-pregnancy. The Black man, the man, I'm not going to say Black, the man gets nothing. You don't get insurance. You don't get health care. You don't get food stamps unless you then take custody of the child, which you have to pay for. But to start, no. The government assistance goes straight to the female. We do not get the same benefits. We do not reap the same benefits. And we both had the same child. And that's ridiculous. That's crazy. Let me write down these notes. I know Miss Oshun, Miss Dragon has to get ready for a fight, guys. So we're gonna get ready to wrap this up real soon. I do appreciate anybody who decided to watch this. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all have seen this. If y'all just clicked in, just go ahead and click a like. The likes are free. The subscribes are free. Shout out to Miss Oshun, Miss Dragon, for even allowing me to be here. I do appreciate even being able to be here at all.
Well, listen, we're gonna debate this again, but I think what we may do is we might play some of the videos because I have to figure it out. Yeah, look at you. Look at you. We might play it.
The next time we do come back, I do have a couple videos about this the stereotyping and the way Black women are portrayed in the media, and a lot of them. Hopefully, we can do this soon. A lot of them aren't like people looking in on Black women. A lot of the videos are Black women just doing things to themselves, and they don't need that.
Well, you know what? You gonna play your Black woman videos, and I'm gonna play my white woman videos.
I would love.
Yeah, but we're gonna have because see, I gotta have it with so I can just share my screen, and then you can share your screen. Can you share your screen right now, like where it's at right now? Because I don't know.
It's an option down here
under present.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you know what? We're gonna schedule a day. We're gonna do a part 2 of this, and we're gonna show what's worse, your Black women or is it white women? Oh, there it is right there. So okay, so hold on, like this right here. So
I guess, yeah.
That's weird.
Oh, see, I learned how to do it. There we go. I'm ready.
Okay, so you ready? Okay, now here's the thing. You gotta give me some time so I can get all my videos together.
All right.
Right now, I only got the ones you sent me, and even though that one is on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken.
Instagram.
Okay. It was very horrible. But here's the thing. Like I said, even with that, when she shot him, she knew her life was over. When a white woman shoots her husband, she knows she good. So, but again, that packaging though.
You saw her packaging. Her packaging was ratchet. Her mama was packaging was ratchet. No.
I've seen some ratchet white women packaging, okay? And this is what I'm saying. Y'all just keep giving them all of this credit when they don't deserve it.
I don't think they deserve credit. I think black women are losing the war more than white women are winning it. I don't think it's about white women winning. I think it's black women just purposely losing.
Okay. I will give you that a lot of black women are purposely losing because they're being bullheaded, right? I'll give you that. Now, we can explain their bullheadedness through several things, but that is the fact at the end of the day, right? Correct. I give you that. But here's the thing. We can mitigate that if we don't just keep saying black women are the problem. Like you said, package yourself differently and move with a different packaging, because that's how business is conducted anyway. That's how you get, sales.
Correct.
But I think black men can also package themselves differently and on an array of different scales, whether it be their image to the media, their image to the news media, their image on social media, and their image on panels. Like when you have black men who don't regulate amongst black men when they see certain stuff going down, and I'm not even going to talk about what go down, but when we see black men not regulating, that also adds to the image, right? When we see them regulating, that also adds to the image. When we see young men regulating in the correct way, that also adds to just a culture of acceptance of a different type of black man. I was on a Facebook post and somebody asked the question to black men, how do you know that she's the one? And it was like 200 answers from men. And I enjoy reading all 200. It was really nice. And yeah, the one you was on, I enjoyed that. Like that inspired me like a lot. And it's not even like half the men probably didn't deserve that shit. But it really was inspiring to see black men be in that space talking like that. And what I'm saying is that adds to the image of black men when they're not always talking about the ratchet bitches. And sometimes they can talk about, you know what? Regardless of what's out here, this is what I'm looking for. So now the conversation isn't about who's wrong and what color they are. The conversation is if women are hearing this, now just like the white media, you're reorganizing the mind of your people when they're hearing what they need to do versus the problem you had with what they did wrong.
But you heard that with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels told you this is what black men want, right?
No, Kevin was the wrong message.
He didn't say this is what black men want?
He was the wrong message. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I seen Kevin anywhere, I would be like, Kevin, boy, you better go sit down.
But did he say it?
He the wrong messenger. He the wrong messenger.
Did he say it?
You can say it, but he can't. You can say it.
But he said it. But he said it, right?
The devil say a lot too.
Kevin Samuels said it. Black men said it. If we hear majority of men
say black men didn't say it. Kevin said it. Black men didn't say it. And even Kevin said black men don't say this. I'm saying
of course not. But now we are.
Of course not. That's how you going to skip over that? Of course not.
Now we are. Now we're saying it.
Okay.
Now we're doing podcast.
Okay, but you know what? You need about at least 2-3 decades to keep saying that. That's what you need because y'all late as hell.
I agree.
Yeah, 2-3 decades, y'all late as hell. But here's the thing. I even think this could be expedited. I think it can be expedited, but you can't expedite it if you're only working on one end of the problem. You have to be working both ends, like a helicopter. You'll get off the ground a little bit if one of them propellers is moving, but it's not going to actually get off the ground if all of them ain't moving at the same time on both ends. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't talk about black women's issues and just say y'all need to get right. Meanwhile, they're getting right for what? This is why people are starting to question the institution of marriage in the future. Like, do we even need it? Is it necessary? So it's like to circumvent all of that. Let's say, listen, fuck fake femininity. Fuck, you acting like you the table. Nobody is the table. A relationship is just that, how you relate. There's no fucking table. I hate when people say, what do you bring to the table? Nigga, this ain't this. What? No. If you want somebody with a good credit score, right? move in spaces where people have good credit scores and you don't have to ask, because that's not polite to ask someone what's your credit score. And here's the thing: if you really like a guy, right, and you really love him and you really attracted to him, his credit score, now that can move up and down, but whether he's loyal or not is not going to move up and down. So learn what's important in shit. Seriously, like my credit score had been a 400 at some point. It's not no more. But if I was a disloyal person, that ain't going nowhere.
But if you got a 730 now, I bet you if a man come to you and he got a 300, I bet you talking about some
No, for me personally, for me, if you got a 300 credit score, but you walking in your purpose, meaning you doing what you supposed to be doing as a man, not gigging, you can have a 300 credit score and have a lot of money coming through your hands for real. But here's the thing.
But you got to be able to bring something to that table, right?
But I don't like using the word table. All I'm saying is this: every man isn't bringing the same thing the same way. All I'm saying is, if we are working together, okay, we got to work from both ends. It ain't gonna work if we ain't working from both ends. So I can repackage. Can you repackage how you're asking and or the package of what you're asking for? When you say fit, right? Do you mean fit right now? Do you mean as in you got to look like Karen on steroids? Like, what do you mean by fit? Because fit in the black community isn't necessarily the same. Right now, having a waist that small and a butt this big is not fit. I don't know what the fuck that is, but that ain't fit.
So listen, if black men are able to get the fitness from another race.
No, they're not getting fitness from another race. 60% of them are obese, not even fat, obese.
The black men that are going over there are getting the fitness, that are getting what they want from over there.
They're not getting, that's the thing. Look at Cynthia G. Look at Cynthia G. They're not getting all of this fit, feminine, and friendly over there. All I'm saying is this: you should want what you're attracted to, whatever that may be. However, you have to repackage that if you want women to repackage, meaning to stop saying fit, feminine, and friendly, first of all. Second of all, if you're looking for someone that is friendly, be friends with them first. Don't look for women to be friendly to you and you're a stranger. Be friends with someone first before you start talking about are they friendly. I'm not friendly to strangers. I will fucking fly kick you. Don't come close to me.
You want to change the market instead of changing what's being brought to the market, and that will never.
White people do it all the time. People do it all the time.
They don't change the market. They stick what they want. That's why you just said. That's why white men get married.
They change it all the time.
Who changes it? The men or the women?
White men know how to change the market, change the currency, change the thinking of the market, then flip it back around and go backwards.
So the men are changing it or the women?
No, it's not about men and women. The market can be changed, and people play on that market the way they want it. So my thing is this: why can't we do the same?
The men are the ones in charge of the market. So if the women are the ones that have the issue, then y'all need to understand what the men want. We don't have
the issue though. It's a two-part thing.
Our black women do have the issue.
No, I'm not saying we don't have an issue with black men. What I'm saying is it's not just black women that have an issue. It's not just us. It's a two-part issue here. It's not just black women having issues. It's too many work. It's too many moving parts for us to just focus on black women issues.
I think that's where it starts.
Okay, it don't end there. Again, this is a two-part.
I don't think it ends there either. I think that's where it starts.
Okay, if women started doing that right now, because there's women that have done that, and they're saying it's been 5 years, and this is nothing.
Who wants to get married? Who wants to get married? The men or the women?
That's another component of it. Marriage today isn't the same legally as it was some 50 years ago.
Correct.
And that has nothing to do with black men. That has
who
nothing to do
wants it? Who wants it? Men or women? Who benefits more from marriage? Men or women?
You want to have that debate? Who benefits more from it? Men or women?
Who benefits more from it? Women?
No, I'm gonna say men.
You're crazy.
Now, wait a minute. Okay, so we're gonna say who, because we're gonna do this. Who benefits more or have benefited more? Do you want to do who benefits more now or who have?
Both of them. B-O-F-F.
Who benefits more now? And then we're gonna do that.
B-O-F-F both.
Okay, both. Okay, both.
Women benefit from marriage. They've always benefited from marriage. This is why women seek marriage. This is why they used to get married at that rate, because they used to benefit off of this.
That's a whole lie. That's a whole lie. But see, that's all cat. That's all cat. See that cat right there you got on? That right there. That white man's polo cat. Okay. That's that white lie right there. Okay. That's what that is. So that's fine. We're gonna get to the bottom of it because see, I like that. And who benefits more now and then? And but here's the thing. We're gonna we're gonna do that probably the second part, but we're gonna play our videos first to see which one is worse. DV from black women or DV from white women. Because see, I'm gonna play both when they lose their life and their job.
Okay.
So you got that? Okay, I got you.
Okay. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. Now let's get ready. I got that. This is the game of dragons. Just for that. Okay. All right. Well, tonight who you said you had money on?
Tank Davis.
Okay. You got money on Tank. Okay, let me see. Cause see, depending on who win, I'm a drag.
I got money on Javante. He gonna knock that boy out. He gonna teach him something.
You a mess. Okay. Well, you know what? We're gonna find out who won. Okay, and if Tank win, I'll give you an extra point that you don't deserve. I'll give you that. But we get ready to close out. But see, the debate rages on because men will not repackage what they're asking for based on reality. But they want women to do it. But it's okay. We will do it. But I appreciate you, Mr. Larry, coming out and giving us a stab. I know this was hard for you to do. Okay? I know it's hard.
I appreciate being on here. I appreciate getting back into these YouTube streets. I've been ready for it.
You ready for it? Okay, you know it's gotten worse. Okay, you do know it has gotten worse, right?
I'm ready for all of it.
Okay, you got it. Okay, like, I'm trying to keep it straight. Like shit. Okay, but yeah, we're gonna get back to this. But when we do, I have to have my videos set up because right now it's like, God, I'm telling my age at this point. I'm like, how do I get it from here to this phone to that right over there? Like.
The main thing to do is to log in on like your Facebook and Instagram on your desktop.
I can't do that. I done forgot my email. Not my email. My password.
Because when I screen shared, I logged into my Instagram on my screen. So when I was going to screen share, I was just going to go to my DMs and then just show it from there. That's all I was going to do.
All right. Well, you know what? It's okay. Well, I'm gonna get it somehow. Even if I have to download it, I will get it. But I'm gonna download it, and we'll again, you'll be able to share your screen, and I can share mine. Yeah, we'll be able to do it. But we're gonna go back and forth, and we're gonna judge like which one's worse. Because as far as I'm concerned, that packaging don't mean a damn thing. But all right.
Who does it matter to? It matters to the people that's getting it.
You just won't let it go. It's okay. All right. It's all right. Okay. It's all right. All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. Mr. Larry, it's been a pleasure as always. I'm gonna hit you up about this and kind of set a date because I know you got lots to do, and I know I don't want to hold you past 8 because stuff happening. But we're gonna do this, and we're gonna finish this right here because I have another debate coming up with Mrs. She said about shame in the Black community and bringing it back. And I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here.
I need to be on there for that one.
Okay, fine. Okay.
No, not on there. I don't want to talk.
You just need to be there. Okay, I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link because we're supposed to be hooking up soon. Like within the next couple of days. Next couple of days. I'll send you the I'll send you the link so you can see it. But it's on here. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about that. And I got some things to say about that shame. Yes. It's gonna be different. But
because you ain't had no shame for the Black woman tonight, but hey, I ain't had no shame for them tonight. Listen.
All of this is shameful. Okay, you're not just gonna put this on Black women. That's not what you're gonna do. Okay.
See, that's your problem. You want to keep sharing the shame. Shame don't share. You get the shame like they did in Lord. What was that? The show. Yeah, shame.
Now see, we're gonna show a clip from Game of Thrones, and see, I'm gonna use that clip for my premise. I'm gonna use it. And I'm gonna say, listen, based on how Cersei was after the shaming event, This is why this doesn't really apply. But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna, yeah, I know, y'all gonna screw face, all that. But this is why we're gonna talk about it. Right there.
All right. I'm here for it. I'm tuning in.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate everyone on the restream because this is still a new channel. Okay. I appreciate everyone on the restream. Well, when you comment, and I don't think this is this comment section was on. Yep, it was. So I set this right. It was on. Okay, it was on. I see it. He said a serpent accent, Little Kim. Yeah, we was doing too much with Little Kim. I got you. All right, y'all. Well, let's get out of here. Mr. Larry, it's been a pleasure. I'm about to go get this started for this game, and we're gonna get back. All right.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Well, everyone, I want to say good night. This has been a lovely evening. We will be back to finish this debate because dragons don't lose. Okay. So have a good night, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.